Going bald is unnatural. Look at me. I used to think that I was losing my hair and that I was trying to hold on to it too long with my ego, and that I should just shave it off because I was tied too much to that. But now coming full circle, as someone who takes care of their body, that practices holistic health, I mean, I wrote a damn book on it. I'm a bit of a hypocrite if I were not to practice holistic health, and including my scalp. It's come to my knowledge thanks to Style Maxer on YouTube. And the more you dive, the more you find. But he was the first I came across. He made points that were completely logical and full of reason. Like, why would you stop growing hair in one spot? Your body doesn't identify one particular area. When you really get down to it, it comes down to blood flow. And there's two different muscles. There's a muscle that runs this way, and there's a muscle that is right here. So these muscles usually stay, right? I mean, because it's connected to your ears. But if you're not activating the top of your scalp via moving the muscle there's no blood flow, the hair shrinks. And then there's even studies done on this where people, a group in India, they just applied lard to their head, and over a period of 6 months, they regrew hair. It was just something that was replenishing the skin there. This is where like shampoo and I'm pretty much anything that the hair market company tells you, the beauty market tells you to put in your hair, it's a vicious cycle. It destroys your hair, and then you go back to them for more hair care products to try and heal your hair, whenever the natural way is much more reasonable, easy to do, easy to maintain, and it makes your hair look way better anyway. And right, I'm over here preaching with no hair, right? So of course, but I've been doing it for 1 month now. I do the scalp massages. I use several different oils, and I make it part of my routine every single day, several times throughout the day. And really, this is just for, I mean, right now, it's real easy to say, yeah, who cares what you're saying about regrowing your hair? You don't have hair. Right, I have hair everywhere else. I mean, I just shaved my chest, but this will grow back in about, I got back hair. I got everything. I can grow hair everywhere, but right here. But it's super tight right here. And they've done a scan on tightness. Tightness is here and here. Wow, where do people lose it? Where do people lose it first? Okay. It makes so much sense. So they did another study where they just injected Botox in the top of the head, and that side effect, it wasn't even like intentional. The side effect they were getting was hair regrowth in men from the Botox in the forehead. And then the real slam dunk is they had a pretty long study where 84% of the men had hair regrowth, substantial hair regrowth, and all they were doing was just massaging their scalp every day, but at least 5 to 10 minutes, because like this threshold was about 34 hours. Once they reach that threshold, 34 hours, which takes roughly about 6 months if you're doing 5 to 10 minutes a day of activating the muscle tissue, reactivating the muscle tissue and getting the blood flow back into the top of the scalp here, they got hair growth. So it's just a matter of time. So with all that said, it's like, yeah, I'm just going to keep doing it, and I'm going to record the results and show that it can be done. And what I also like to do differently, because I mean, Style Maxer, if you want some really good proof, you just go to Style Maxer's channel and he'll tell it all to you and explain it very easily about with the whole DHT lies. I mean, DHT is only going there as a result of the inflammation, which comes from the shampoos, and you're more predisposed based on your genetics, how tight it's going to be. So sure, your genes will affect it, but everyone can change it. So it's completely reversible for anyone in any age. And this has been open to my eyes now, and it's like, this is complete and holistic health from top bottom. And sure, you might say it's looks maxing or whatever, but I mean, obviously I work out and have worked out for 15 years now. I care about how my body looks, but you have to care about your temple. Like, obviously, to the degree, this is the problem that is associated with that is, it gets tossed in with looks maxing, and then you got bone smashing, and then it just goes so far overboard. But caring about your body is important. You should. It's a temple, and it's a reflection of you as well. So you should care. And honestly, though, you can't have like a 10 out of 10 looking dude. This is just pure vanity, though. You can't have a 10 out of 10 looking dude unless he's got long hair. That's like, if you look at Greek mythology, all these gods, they all have this long hair and chiseled body. You don't have it with a bald person. You just can't get it. At most, it's like a 9 out of 10 or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just, and I'm not saying I'm trying to be a 10 out of 10 or even that I even have a chance to. It's not, but I'm just saying, like, hair's just better. And It's part of you. It's not dead like they say. That's complete bullshit. I mean, it can stand up on end. I mean, whenever you get the chills and stuff, I mean, that kind of proves that it's alive. I mean, sure, it's connected to the receptor at the bottom, right? This is all an extension of you, just as your fingernails are, right? That's coming from you as well. It's all completely dead. You can't feel it whenever it gets lifted up or anything like that. Okay, whatever. But where I differ from Style Maxer is he says use an egg, which I'm not really against that. The purpose of replenishing the scalp makes sense as well, to wash with an egg instead of wash your scalp with an egg instead of with shampoos and stuff like that. But where I differ is being a vegetarian and prioritizing all life, or caring about all life, you know what I mean? Ideally try to avoid eggs in the most ways that I can. And for me to just waste an egg life, whatever, on an issue that I've caused, right? How's it that animal's fault? And I know that industry's going to go on without me, but I can still just choose to not be a part of that. So as a vegetarian, Style Maxer also recommends you have to get all these micronutrients, macronutrients from eating steak and all this food, which I do agree. I mean, net overall, if the studies show that if you pay any attention to your diet, you're going to see results. So it doesn't matter what diet you choose, just being more conscious to what your diet is and what you're eating, what you're putting in your body, because you are exactly what you eat. But of course, me being a vegetarian, I want to be mostly water-dense fruits than vegetables. Like, that's what I care about being made up of. Water-dense fruits, you can't get better than water-dense fruits. They're the least toxic thing you can put into your body, because everything has a toxin, something that can't be used, right? And if those have the least amount, then your body can go back to fixing itself and healing itself and trying to achieve homeostasis, where you're all completely healed, where you've regenerated with your stem cells, which you can naturally produce if you fast for 24 hours in your gut. And if you extend that to 72 hours of a fast, then you start producing systemic stem cells and all throughout your body. It'll go and heal any nagging issue, but you can't do this if you're eating. I am going to fully regrow my hair permanently from this point forward, because of course you have a lot more care for it going forward and want to, but I am going to regrow my hair in 6 months from full baldness, while both vegetarian and fasting, eating 1 meal a day, and sometimes fasting longer than that, like 24, 48 hours, whatever. Because fasting leads to more healing. The science shows that. It's finally starting to come to light now, and I'll make another video on that specifically. I want to, at least, about the fallacies between like what current science, JAMA pushes of, not even necessarily JAMA, but current studies push, saying that, you know, you want to lower cortisol by eating, and they're afraid of the autophagy phase, where it's cell destruction, but it's really cell cleanup, because there's so much waste cells. You want autophagy. They're so afraid of autophagy, and it's so misunderstood. So anyways, video on that, I want to address that as well. But anyways, back to the hair care once again. Lastly, I'm going to, and what I do now is I massage multiple times a day. I use castor oil, I use rosemary oil, I use inversion therapy, where I'm upside down doing massages, or just inverted on my inverted table for a few minutes a day. Obviously, I care about my diet, what I'm putting in. Should be self-explanatory if you care about fixing anything. Like, you're gonna have to look at your diet first, number one. It's what Hippocrates himself, the guy of medicine that we all follow, says. Always go to the diet first. You got a problem, go to the diet. Microneedling, but I do that like every other day. I mean, people, whatever, whine about it. It is what it is. You're trying to fix a problem. And shower with bentonite clay, which is super cheap. It's just like mud, pretty much. Just like fancy mud that you just wash with and let it sit there. And that's pretty much it. Just be consistent with it. And after 1 month, I've actually started to see some regrowth of hairs already. So that's kind of motivating me. I've even had some people comment on it. Clearly, that is confirmation bias, but that does fuel the motivation, right? Because you're looking for results. It's hard to see the beginning, even after a month in. A little over a month is where I'm at, because I started January like 10th or something like that of 2026. So we're at February, what is it, the 18th today or something like that? So it's been a little over a month. But anyways, I'm taking the pictures as well, and I'll have that shown later on to document that as well, because I'd like to see for myself, you know. I don't really care if everyone's interested or not, but I want to show that it is possible to regrow your hair. It can be done vegetarian, and it can be done while fasting, or doing a lot of fasting in your life, and still exercising, being active and in shape for this holistic health picture. And yeah, I just want to say it's possible. And thanks to Style Maxer for really enlightening my eyes to that. I would definitely recommend looking at his channel as well. This new year, I wanted to try these new things as well, and I see no reason for it. Before, I was worried about my ego getting in the way, but now it's about this full holistic health. So that's it.